What's up, Nomad Nation? You've got Godfather, you've got Chungus, and you've got Fireball. We make up your Nomad Gamers. For everybody out there watching us on Facebook, you guys absolutely rock. They rock, you two. Last time we were at what, 78 followers?
Yeah, 78. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're up to 82 now.
Woo!
So we're making some progress.
Slowly but surely. But don't call me Shirley.
Now, all right, Shirley Temple. Now, if you are watching us over on
That's great.
I forgot
YouTube.
I forgot to turn on the audio. Luckily, Crest Rider was there to tell me.
Again?
Yeah.
Dude.
You're horrible with that.
You really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So if you are watching us over on YouTube, somewhere over there by Fireball, you're going to see the subscribe button. Somewhere by me, you're going to see the thumbs up or the heart. Over by Chungus, you're going to see one of the other two. Smash all three of those. That way, every time that the Nomad Gamers come at you with some live content or some recorded content, you are being notified. Now, if you are on one of Fireball's socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Kick, OnlyFans,
Stop.
any of those other ones.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Are we trying to be PG with this?
Define PG.
Yeah, define PG. I didn't say anything bad.
Oh, you know what? It's on the parents to make sure their kids aren't watching something like this.
Exactly. Do not go there. It's bad. But anyways, if you are watching us from one of his socials, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. So this is the last night or day, depending on when you're watching us, for the next 45 days that I'm going to be in the Shire recording with these two knuckleheads. Tomorrow morning, I go wheels up at 0630. So that means we are still talking Shire talk. So
Crest
what
Rider
do you
says
guys got
parental
for us?
guidance varies by parents.
That is very true too.
I got something.
What's that?
What's that?
So there's a new Minecraft update coming.
I did see that.
I believe it's already here.
No, not
It's
yet.
coming. It will be here. It will be here
It'll
very
it'll
soon.
be coming out like in like correlation to the Minecraft movie, isn't it? Because
Oh, you mean the one that you two are going to go watch?
No.
you
I
know
would rather lick shards of glass.
we might have
out
to
of
just so that way we can. Sadly, we might have to actually go watch it.
I don't.
Yeah, let me know how that is because I'm not paying the
I have to watch.
the high prices of California.
We might have to go watch it. Sadly,
When's it supposed to come out? Is it after April 10th?
I think so. Maybe I don't know. I'm not looking forward to seeing it. But however,
Hey.
because we are a gaming podcast, we might have to go see it.
Hey, Nomads, that update released today.
Oh, it did.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because when I got on Minecraft earlier this morning before my eye appointment, and it told me that I had to update Minecraft, and it didn't take too long to update it, and I really didn't see anything huge, but I was still working on one of the subways, so I wouldn't have seen anything unless they changed colors or something.
no.
It's
The
an
big
update now. Yeah.
The big thing they added with it is you can go into the Nether and you can find like a ghast, like
You
a
can rescue
baby
the
ghast.
gas.
Yeah, the baby
Yeah.
ghast. And then, oh, I'm a little too quiet. Hold on, I gotta fix that.
You're a little too quiet. I can
Yeah,
hear you just fine.
Crest Rider says I'm a little too quiet in my.
Hey, Crest Rider, turn up your hearing aids, brother.
Leave that man alone.
But yeah. You
Hey,
can
he's
go
our
there-
MVP. I got to give him some shit.
You know what? It's fair. Hecklers get heckled.
But you could go into the Nether. You can find like a ghast carcass or whatever it's called, a baby ghast. You bring it to the overworld. You submerge it in water for like a day or two in game, and then you have a pet ghast.
They added lore to the gas, which is the lore is very depressing.
It is very depressing.
I'm glad Microsoft's actually doing something with Minecraft like this, though.
However,
It's nice.
I will say it's good to see this kind of update bring something else to the world. Still hate mob
Was there
votes.
anything else?
I think there's a couple of things, but not that was the biggest one, honestly.
Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
can now have rideable gas and you can have up to 4 people ride on it. So it's kind of like flying in survival now.
Well, that works
Besides,
because then
besides
it makes exploring a hell of
the
a lot
Elytra.
easier.
I will say I still hate the mob vote though when it comes to the mob vote. Just because it's like very little gets added to Minecraft per year anyways. Why make us vote on a mob when you've already got the design, everything set up for it? And you have a lot of people sit here and complain about, give us all 3 mobs. You've done the work for it.
I will. There's a bit of devil's advocate to be played, just a bit with that, and the fact of oversaturation is a thing.
Yes.
I will state, if they did a mob vote like every year, which they do, right? It's every
Mhm.
year. Maybe do 2 mobs.
They
Add 2
didn't
mobs.
do one last year.
Did they not? I thought they
No,
did.
I thought they did.
because the last one to be added was the sniffer, if I remember correctly, right?
I don't fucking remember, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're acting like we actually
But
keep very good
no, the
tabs
thing
on this
is,
game.
like, I get it to a degree. There are levels to this, right? So they do need to add more, but they can't add too much that oversaturates the game, and it's just too
Well,
much.
I mean, you get, and this is what like really irritates me is you get certain mobs that are like, oh, you know what? They have really no use to the game, but they'd still be great to add, like the copper golem or the tough golem or, these other variations of mobs that literally have no use to the game besides, oh, they're cute and they're pretty. And then you get stuff that, like the Phantom that came from the mod vote. You've got the Allay that came from mod vote, and I don't think I've ever seen an Allay before in game.
I haven't either.
You can't. The Sniffer. You cannot get a Sniffer in game in survival. You have to actually spawn it in creative.
What's the point?
Right.
So again, I get, like I said, I get your point of they need to add more, but they got to be careful with adding too much too soon. They've had, how long does Microsoft own Minecraft?
Before we jumped on that, he says Chungus has a point, but it's also a cop out. Let the vote choose the order that they get added, but there's no reason not to add everything they put in on the vote.
Yeah, like it gets to a point, but like again, as you stated, like, oh, it's every year. Yeah, they definitely could. A year's worth of content for Minecraft is literally adding some blocks, a new biome, and 3 new mobs. They could do that yearly and be fine.
And be
I'm
fine.
not there's a whole modding community for Minecraft on PC, which you see all the tons of mods that people have made. I mean, legitimately game-changing mods. Like,
I mean, you can have Halo in Minecraft.
You can have Call of Duty Zombies in Minecraft.
And the funniest thing right now is the playthrough that I got going on. I've got the Halo mod pack, Lucky Block mod pack, Tinker's Construct. I mean, I've got a set like a mod pack right now on it. I'm probably gonna add more to it once I start actually figuring out which mods work together and which don't, so it doesn't crash my game. But like, I also got the Golem mod pack in there, where it adds the Copper Golem into it. I mean, you have to get a specific way to get it, because like, you gotta have a piece of copper, a jack-o'-lantern without the torch in it, and then you have to have a lightning rod on top of it. And then
during your rainstorm, lightning strike.
Yeah,
they can definitely add more. They can add a lot. I know they can. You just don't want it to be the thing of like, oh, they've essentially added in what would be like 500 different mods into Minecraft in the same year. That'd be a bit much, like StarCraft and all that, added in Draconium, Greg Tech and all that type of stuff. Adding all that in at once would be problematic. They do have to take their time with it, but I'm not going to lie to you. They've had, 10 years now? 9 years of owning Minecraft? Microsoft? Or was it since 2012?
Longer than that.
Since 2012, right? Or 2013? Yeah, so like I think it was 2012. That's when Notch sold Minecraft. 13 years that Microsoft has had Minecraft. And there's a good amount of changes to the game. However, it's really still the same. And yeah, the core gameplay is not going to change a lot, but you know, adding anything like Tinker's Construct or just magic into the game would be huge.
So they actually added something when it comes to. They've added like small add-on mobs or mods to Bedrock that you can buy for Minecoin.
Buy. That's what you just said the word that people don't want. Why do I have to pay for it when other systems can get it for free?
I mean, yeah, I see your point on that, but again, they are trying to add some type of mods to Bedrock. Even though you have to, it's behind a paywall with Minecoin. It's only like maybe $2 per mod, and I know that doesn't seem
Still
like a
$2
lot.
too much.
Right, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but you know they're trying to push forward on having something for Bedrock at least.
I would rather them not do it at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Than again, it goes back to the preying on who's the main target audience for that, right? So it goes back to another discussion we've had before. That's all. I'd rather them not do it at all, or do it like how they do PC. Which, if the argument is that the consoles can't handle what the PCs can, well, look what Microsoft's doing. They're letting, and that's probably gonna not be it's gonna be a non-factor here soon for Xbox. Having Steam and everything, they'll have access to Java Bedrock
with this new console. All right, anybody got anything else? All right, go.
Am I just coming through on that?
Chuck, mic's a little weak. There you go.
No, yeah, I was. Anyway, big news. Big news.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut off Chungus, but just before we move on to something bigger, Crest Rider wanted something. He said, I'm okay with microtransactions like that, as it offers a way to support a game you paid for potentially 15 years ago, and they're still making content for it. They have to be able to justify the price by making the content.
You know what? I could agree with that sentiment if the content was actually hitting the game in general. But even with the free updates they give, it's like, it's crumbs, man. You have other live service games, and I get like, oh yeah, they use microtransactions and all that, but like, they're not making any money from the Java players besides servers. Actually, not even servers, because they can have dedicated servers. So I mean, the money's coming from the console players. So I get that. So maybe if they entice it by actually adding in all the mobs and whatnot, then I could understand here are some mods that you can't normally get, so just pay for them instead, but you also get free content too that's actually worthwhile. That would make the most amount of sense. But that isn't a perfect situation, and nothing's ever perfect. The news I did have, though, is that United Video Game Workers Union launches in partnership with the Communication Workers of America. Some pretty good news. You gotta love people banding together to what was it? It's like the unions to band together to make sure that they're gonna have workers' rights for themselves, right? That's been a big issue actually in the gaming industry overall, just like with voice actors and just labor laws, like pushing your devs to the brink of like fucking burnout has always been a big issue. So yeah, that's it. I mean, there's not much to speak on them more than that. You have your opinion on
somebody
it.
Followed.
Oh, sorry. Just to speak further on it, for those who might know, what was I going to say? For people who might know what unions are in general, in terms of like their actual like acronyms and whatnot, they are known as the CWA, local chapter 9433. So that's pretty. I think that's pretty great, especially with the layoffs that's been happening for the last like 2 years. So, yeah. especially with the rise of
Well,
AI in games.
With I was gonna say, with that being said, is that gonna protect against like AI being used in certain aspects, like what Call of Duty's doing?
Yeah,
Kind of. Maybe.
No, it is stated.
Not really, but maybe.
It is stated in the article that is one of the reasons they also formed in
Well,
their
yeah, they can form. They can form all they want. The company has to agree to a contract.
I mean,
And
yes.
I'd like to see a little bit more, but I don't know how much it's going to protect them from AI, because look at the Screenwriters Actors Guild or
SAG-AFTRA,
all
yeah.
those, all those Hollywood guilds. They went on strike about that, and I don't think they got everything they wanted with the AI. So
No.
what I'm thinking is going to end up happening with this whole formation, which is a good thing. It can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. The
Mhm.
union's going to help the workers, but it might hurt the gamers. But we shouldn't feel much. We shouldn't feel hardly anything. But I don't think they're going to make big concessions on AI happening. If anything, I see it being constructed almost like the Actors Guild.
See, the thing with like the Actors Guild and all that, like they legitimately, everybody saw and felt the actual absence of these writers, these
Yep.
human writers. It was very apparent, super fucking apparent. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, don't get me twisted. I'm not against them forming.
Oh yeah, but I'm in the regards to like
I'm not against the union. I just want to see a little bit more, because if push comes to shove, some of these developers are not in the United States, and they do not have to follow U.S. labor laws.
they do not know.
I mean, you're right to a point of them not having to follow U.S. labor laws, but is this just a U.S. based labor or a U.S. based union, or is this something that?
Well, if it goes international,
It is so far only
local.
an American union.
Married Kiwi says, "Are you guys trying any new games soon?"
Yes, actually. Well, I know I can speak on for myself and for Fireball. Well, specifically myself. Okay. I guess I am speaking for him as well. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've been playing it a little bit when I have the time to do so.
Wait, you have it?
Hello.
You bought it?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Game share,
Whoa.
please.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
All right, bet.
Legitimately, so far from what I've played, yeah, no, they absolutely cooked. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. They were like, yeah, this is it. It's just make or break. We're gonna fucking lose. They're gonna go bankrupt if they didn't get this. I will state this specifically, Godfather. I know for a fact you are probably gonna hate it for one reason and one reason only, and that's the movement. Dude, that is nice. It is nice.
I've been seeing gameplay about it all. She said might be funny to watch someone try a horror game for the first time and narrate going through it. LOL.
Oh my god. Oh, I have a great idea for when he comes back, and I'm going to tell you about it. You'll find out when you get back.
Hey, how about you look at me in the screen, buddy?
Oh, sorry.
My eyes are up here.
No, they're not. They're down. Do you know where they're at? You know where they're at. No, you know what? I'll just say it now. I do have something in the works to try to get Mr. Godfather over there to play Alien Isolation in VR.
I was gonna say we could play Repo.
No, horror, true horror.
Hold on. I got something even better. You know how Godfather likes playing Minecraft a lot? Now that he's got his own laptop, we can get him on CurseForge, and I got a horror mod set up.
Well, hold up, you two. How about we do this for Godfather? Just for me speaking.
Comment down below. What horror game should we make him play?
Stop! Hold the goddamn phone.
By the way, you peeked your mic on that hold up, so it looks like you were just howling in the wind.
Anyways, I will get a hold of Santiago, my personal connection to Hollywood when it comes to horror, and see what he says. Let's let Julio pick for Godfather. How's that? Shall we?
I don't know.
I agree to these terms. I agree to these terms.
Okay. Crestwriter says.
Okay.
Crestwriter said,
Go ahead.
I bought Shadows, like Ghost of Tsushima. It's far too much of an opportunity to wander Japan's beauty. Even if it's not real, they worked hard to base it on reality.
That man is speaking my language!
And then Kiwi says, that would be funny. I need to see Godfather try a new game and narrate it going through it. And then she says no. So what are you saying no to, Kiwi?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I have a quick question, actually. Why are you assuming it's a she? It could be a he. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I think your mic cut out a little bit.
It's who?
It's who?
Ashley.
Oh.
Hold on. She was on YouTube, and I'm like, hey, I got 2 different chats going. If you stay on YouTube, can you jump over to Twitch, please? And she's like, okay, fine.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Okay.
Whoever he said no to whoever else picks the game, let the audience reply.
Exactly.
But here, hold up. Here's the deal, though. Santiago is in with the horror community. He starred on The Walking Dead.
Please pronounce the word more properly. It does not sound correct on the recording. Horror.
That's what I said. Horror.
Doesn't sound like that. All right. Anyway,
you know what? I don't care. I said horror, and that's what it is. Okay. I'm not saying a night walker.
It sounds like you are.
Bitches. You know, now that you say something, I hear what you're saying, but I can't say it any different. Horror and horror mean 2 different goddamn things.
Same word. You just said the same word.
Hold on. Mary Kiwi says LMFAO. Mary Kiwi says HOR-OR. And then Crestwriter says, guys, be checking out the horror community.
No, don't tell Sweet Kitty Pie. But anyway, back to what we were saying before I get in even more trouble. So I will get a hold of Santiago when I get home from what I'm about to go do. And who knows, and I can't say this for certain, but I will send an invite to him to appear on a Gnomad Gamers podcast to where we can get this settled.
Are there any new horror games coming out though? A few?
Yeah, just a few. It's like if I remember, honestly, I think a good amount of them are remakes, but there are a few more that are coming out. And I guess it depends on your stance of like what is horror or not. Like Death Stranding is technically like a psychological horror type.
Is that acceptable to our audience and to YouTube?
It says, how about Santiago chooses 2 different horror games and the audience chooses
That's
which
what
one.
I said, horror. Jesus
and then
Christ.
She says Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh, Jason! Fuck!
Hello Kitty? Absolutely not. No.
Hello Kitty for Fireball. Hello Kitty for Godfather. You just
typed the fuck out of your mic. Topped out your mic.
So, hey, real quick, just so everybody at home knows, at home or out in the old interwebs, we are just waiting on our microphones to come in. That's all we're doing. We have corrected the issue, and it won't be long before the earphones go away and the Nomad gamers are back in one room tearing it up together, because as you can see, our backgrounds are different.
So, Married Kiwi says, Godfather, try it in all caps, and then says, Hello Kitty Island Adventure deserves more credit, be a real gamer. And then Crestwriter came back with, that's some real Godfather horror right there.
That is.
Oh God. Holy Lord. Oh,
All
But
right.
I do agree with the fact that we need to get Godfather. We need to get Godfather in a VR horror, but we got to make sure there's a paramedic on standby just in case if he goes into cardiac arrest.
we need to make sure there's a paramedic and security to stop him from hurting us. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, if he gets scared enough and he gets activated, I don't think either of us can actually take him down unless we're on like a lower plane and he has to bid down to get us. Then we might be safe.
I don't know, big boy. When it's time to throw down,
I don't know. Those flashbacks might come back to bite us in the ass.
he's got a point.
His camera's up.
All right, are we done with this? Are we done picking
we done
on
with what?
Godfather?
Yeah,
No,
let's pick
hold on,
Fireball
hold on.
then. Oh,
Chris Ryder says,
Fuck.
I'll come be on standby. I know CPR, know how to call 911.
oh God. I know how to do CPR too.
Bless America.
You do the thing and you go, you do it to the tune of Staying Alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Same BPM.
All right, so I was scrolling through the old internet.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh yeah, it gets kind of horrible. And then I put it down because I was engaging in this last word salad that we just had,
That is the way to describe it.
and my Facebook refreshed itself, so I can't find it. However, the maker for Mario Smash Brothers, I don't know, it's some Japanese name, and I probably couldn't say it if I had it in front of me. He told his teams, reportedly this week, to make games that they love instead of making games for the West.
I saw that. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Talking about America, but then he also further down he went that the gaming industry needs to get back to making games that gamers love.
Yes, and I know exactly. I'll wait until you're done. Sorry, go ahead. Go continue.
No. I'm pretty much done because I lost a goddamn article.
No, you're good.
So
'cause
I'm just summarizing it.
I was going to bring up the point that he's absolutely correct, because back before game developers, game companies started trying to cater towards the larger population centers in other countries, i.e., China and India, where they have more people than us, right?
Yeah,
it's just a simple numbers game. If 50 million people in the U.S. like this game, that's cool. If 100 million people over in China like it, that's a bigger deal. That's more money for them. So if they cater towards that audience, then, rather than us, they're going to make money regardless. That's all they care about.
Boy,
Yeah, what's up?
you forgot to change the title.
And this has been your Gnomad Gamers. Thank you for fucking ending right. Fuck you! Fuck you!
but back to what we were saying on that,
Yes,
because that's a good topic.
If
Very good topic.
yes,
And I agree with you on the whole India and China thing. It is a numbers thing
it's just
to
a
a point.
Yeah.
It's a numbers thing with the money.
that's what I mean.
Okay. Now, if they get back to making games that they love, and here's the other thing too, if they put out a product that they love, 9 times out of 10, and there's always that one in there, but 9 times out of 10, the general public falls in love with it too.
It's just like Helldivers 2. The dev team for Helldivers, it's their passion. That is a game they have put their heart and soul into, and look at it. Even with the issues people had faced with like nerves and things like that, they turned it around, changed it back. That game is still talked about a year later, and they're still releasing content for it. Content that you can get without having to buy anything. You can earn the premium currency in game, save it up, wait for the next content drop, buy that pass, earn it as you play. It never goes away. They are doing it so right. It is so insane.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to think, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and I might be wrong. It's a good chance because I'm wrong more times than right.
60%
But
of the time he's right 100%.
Isn't GTA the first one to come out with DLCs that you did not have to pay for, kind of making it normal?
I would say popularized it, but not the first. No.
Okay. That's the only one I can
No.
remember doing it. So that's why I said that.
What I was gonna Crest Rider says, until Sony fucked up Helldivers by blocking it to over 100 countries because they couldn't even log into PlayStation Network, then kept most of those bans, even though they got rid of the login requirement.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like even with Sony trying to fuck over this dev team, they've still pulled out the numbers to keep in the top 10 within just Steam.
Well, like I was gonna say, I'm sorry, me and Chuggus kind of got to mute ourselves a bit because I get a little bit of feedback and I'm trying to make it better for you guys. There have only been a few games now within the last 2 years that have had the love for instead of trying to go for profit, but have had the love for the game. The only games that I can count that have had countless support by the dev teams to make it better are Helldivers 2, Lethal Company, and Godfather, jump in. I know you probably got one if you're thinking it.
World of Warcraft. That's the other game that has had continuous 100% support by their dev team.
Yeah, and it's like it's
because here's the other game.
Go ahead and name them.
Oh, I was gonna list off. You have both 40K games that came out, and then you said last 2 years. I know Darktide came out before this, but even then, Darktide still gets support now from Fat Shark, and fucking Space Marine 2 still gets support. And is it a lot? No, but they already laid out the roadmap of what they're going to be doing, and they're already working on a third one. There's another Space Marine game that's going to be coming out, and it's still like they support the game, they update it, they keep it fresh for people to a degree, and it's just the love and support that they have to make what they love, because what they're making is art, and they recognize that, and they want to make sure other people can experience it too. So that's what they do.
Hey, I got a question for you there. Well, for Crest Rider, because you'll be able to look at it quicker or know better than what we will. But if he does it, and while we're waiting on it, maybe Chungus can look this up for me. I packed up my iPad, so I'm kind of flying blind tonight. Diablo, is that still being supported? Like, I remember the new Diablo coming out, but I haven't heard that much about Diablo in probably 10 years now.
Diablo 4 came out 2 years ago now. Well, will be 2 years ago this year. Came out for everything. It's okay. It's not what it used to be, but it's not bad either. It is getting support.
And that's sad.
It's getting support, but it's not like the greatest, right? It kind of doesn't. It lacks the soul that they used to have. The love that is. It doesn't feel like the love is there. With that being said, though, it's mixed reviews all around. Like some people like it a lot, some people, it's okay.
That's with everything in life. You get mixed reviews for everything.
Yeah, but I mean, like in total, like it's actually like split. A lot of games are like 80-20, right? Like there's the community that hates it, and there's part of the community that likes it. This is definitely a polarizing game. It's okay.
He's got your answer for you, by the way, but I know we've already kind of covered it. He said Diablo 4 is still being supported, yes. However, it didn't get the best reviews, and they've walked back their darker, scarier stance, moving more towards the silliness that they had in Diablo 3.
Okay.
It's also infested with microtransactions in the form of transmog sets, where the stuff you find in game itself is okay.
There you go. I was just wanting to know because I do know at one time Diablo was rivaling World of Warcraft.
And that's crazy.
I believe it was a
single-player game.
I believe it was Diablo 2.
Diablo 2 and I will say Diablo 2 and definitely 3.
He says
it's fucking
it's not microtransaction, it's macrotransaction. $25 isn't micro.
He's not wrong. It's just like Call of Duty with their fucking gun skins. $25 to have a pink gun that shoots pink lasers. cool. I'm not spending $25 for that though. Are you kidding me?
Hey, Chungus. And what I meant by rivaling World of Warcraft, and one being a massive multi-online player game, and some role-playing in it, of course, and the other one being single player, it was the hype that was getting everybody. And at that time, it was kind of a dip for World of Warcraft. They were kind of starting to transition into a new
era,
a new combat setup. I guess the only way, like perk points and stuff like that. And so some of the players were going over to Diablo, but from the sounds of it, they probably went right back to World of Warcraft.
Crest Rider says Diablo 2 predates World of Warcraft by several years.
And maybe it was Diablo 3. It was right around 2010, 2011. I was just getting back from Egypt when this thing was dropping.
So then, yeah, it might have been that Diablo 3 that was like that.
It might have been.
No, but and this is, I mean, we've discussed this multiple times in saying this, but gaming communities as a whole need to set a higher standard when it comes to games being created. Because again, you've got games like Call of Duty that do it just for the fact that they can get a transactional use out of it and make a profit instead of for the love of the game, like we got with the older Call of Duties. And it seems like the more and more we get, the more the love of the game type of games, they're a lot better than the transactional use games. And you know, you have these diehard fans that sit here and they'll shovel their money into this, and then they will still end up making a profit because people keep shoveling their money into shit. I mean, it.
That's and no, but Fireball. Here's the thing, too, man, is to get an entire community to band together to do something like what we're talking about is extremely, extremely hard. When you bring that down a little bit more, and instead of industry wide, which I would love to see, but you bring that down to a franchise. Let's take, only because I'm sick of hearing about Call of Duty. So let's say the Grand Theft Auto series, or World of Warcraft is another good one, or Mario. That's another good one. When you break it down that small and that community bitches at the developer, I have seen the community turn some games around. I really have.
And that's the case that they had with Helldivers, and you know,
Oh, I forgot about Helldivers. Yeah,
the Helldivers, and there's like what 2 instances where the Helldivers community came together and they overturned what Sony and Arrowhead were doing. The first one was with the fact that you had to log in with PlayStation. You know, they did the mass bad review of 2022, and they made Sony backtrack and be like, nope, we're taking this back. And you know, Arrowhead rewarded the player base with a cape talking about what had happened. And then it was the great nerf of 2023 where everything got nerfed, and they were like, we're just...
You do realize this game's only been out for a year.
Oh, I guess.
This literally happened within the last year.
Okay, and then you've got...
and then good for them. That makes it even more impactful. It really does.
Mm-hmm. But then you got the great nerf that happened, and everybody's like, you know what? We're just gonna let the galactic. We're not gonna fight in the galactic war anymore, and we're just gonna let them move towards Super Earth. And then Arrowhead's like, well, we're gonna backtrack again. And we're gonna bring back everything that we did.
Just real quick to glaze Arrowhead real quick. Legitimately, that was the best decision they've ever made. On top of the fact that even with the players now being as strong as we are in that game, the fact that they're adding in units, not to counteract, but just to add another layer of complexity to these factions. Like there's flamethrower bots now. So certain bots have flamethrowers. Certain bots with shields have fucking dragon's breath rounds for their shotguns. And it's not like they're super difficult to deal with. They're just like the other bots that just shoot fire weapons now. You got to play a little differently, but it's not like this immense wall you have to overcome now. It's just wow, they still like you still feel strong while having to rethink your strategy, which I like.
Now?
Yeah, now
Okay,
I can.
my thing got unplugged a little bit. So the reason I keep bringing up Call of Duty, and I know you hate that I keep bringing it up, but it's the biggest
I do.
eyesore. It is the biggest eyesore right now in the gaming community. And you
No.
talk about how GTA, you know, like the games like GTA where they're like they do it for the love of the game. They have microtransactions in GTA, but it's not
Yeah.
it's not so up and in your face like Call of Duty is. They actually kind of try to balance the game. I know. Hold on.
Let them finish
I
his
know-
point.
You're gonna get Godfather wound up. Okay.
I know
finish.
there are items and vehicles in there like the Oppressor, the Deluxo, you know, vehicles like that are kind of hard to counter. But even then, they've tried to come up with ways to counter it. In Call of Duty, it's just like, oh, you want to try to counter what's going on? Okay, buy this weapon, buy this skin. This skin will shoot through walls, or this skin will have something, you know, or buy the rose skin. You know, there was an entire all black skin in Call of Duty where you could literally hide in shadows and you could not be seen.
I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna hate me for saying it. Legitimately, skill issue for the rose skin. On top of the fact, and it's not really a skill issue. I know what the issue is for a lot of people, but with the skin, it wasn't necessarily that the skin was designed to do that. It just kind of did that with the AS Vow shooting through walls with certain ammunition. Wasn't supposed to.
But I mean, it's like
they did fix it as fast as they could. They probably could have fixed it faster, but they wanted to make sure that the people were like, "Oh, abuse is
no,
faster."
I'm talking about like with the Dragon's Breath rounds that came in Black Ops 6, where if you didn't get it through the challenges, they just had it in the store for you to buy. So like if somebody
they do the same thing with some other games too.
They do that with GTA as well. You don't have to buy it; you just earn it.
And it's in your face too.
But my point I was going to bring up in the fact is like with the rose skin specifically, it is legitimately just because of the graphic settings people were using to try to make their game look better. No shit, it's going to look better. Black on black? Hey, genius, camouflage works. So legitimately, you had that with a ton of skins in that game where it genuinely worked, and that was from the effort that they put forward to making these skins work in environments.
But the thing is like right now with how bad
More
the
real
game
life.
is, with how bad the game is right now, they're relying, instead of trying to make the game better, they're relying on a nostalgia factor in order to try to bring some of their player base back because they're hurting for it. Why the hell are they bringing back Verdansk again?
Fireball.
What?
A lot of games do that, not just Call of Duty.
I understand that.
A lot
but
of
again,
games are doing
the
that.
biggest Call of Duty is the biggest eyesore right now when it comes to not caring about the game and just doing it in order to make a profit on it.
Hold on,
I would almost argue.
I was going to say,
I would almost argue that Grand
Theft
Theft Auto 5 is a pretty big eyesore right now.
I would say not as big as Call of Duty. I'll give that to Fireball. Not as big as Call of Duty. Big, but not as big of an eyesore as Call of Duty right now.
But once again, Chungus, maybe you can agree with this statement. It might be an eyesore for those who play that type of game. Just like for those of us who play the type of game like Grand Theft Auto 5, that's why we're saying it is an eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really not too concerned about Black Ops 6 because it's not on our radar. So I get what you're saying, but to say that it is the biggest eyesore out there is kind of far-fetched because these games are going to just certain crowds. Because not everybody plays Call of Duty, not everybody plays Grand Theft Auto or Starfield or Fallout. They don't.
Right. I
I guess I'm
understand.
correcting myself too.
I get that point, but here's this is the thing that I look at when I'm talking about being the biggest eyesore out there. GTA Online, it's been out for 13 years. I can understand why they're kind of running out of
Yep.
ideas when it comes to trying to come up with that expansion. But they've also just announced GTA 6 right around the corner. So it's almost like they've kind of given up on GTA Online because they're getting ready for GTA 6.
Oh, they did that a long time ago.
Call of Duty comes out every year, and it's not even like GTA 5 to GTA 6 had a 13-year lifespan when it came, we were going to have GTA 5 for a while. They actually took their time and came out with DLC, came out with expansions to try to make the game better.
Mhm.
I can understand right now with it being at its end of life cycle that it's kind of becoming an eyesore because, well, GTA is GTA, it's been around for a while. But you
Pretty
have
much 2018, it became one.
but you have Call of Duty that comes out yearly. It's pretty much more times than not when they come out with a new Call of Duty, it's just copy paste to the last game.
Mhm.
Then they slap
Then
a
you
new
know what you
title.
guys do? You guys park your ass in Black Ops 6, and when this next game comes out that is just copy paste, you guys don't buy it. You stay on the last one.
Well, hell, we didn't even have to buy Black Ops 6. We got it through
No.
Game Pass, and that was the best.
Which tells me the next one is not going to be on Game Pass.
Right, and like I was gonna say is, if it were on Game Pass, I wouldn't have played Black Ops 6. I'm telling you that right now.
No.
I would not have picked up Black Ops 6. Did I like the zombies? Yes, but again, even with an old school zombie player like myself, they did copy paste with certain guns. They've done copy paste with certain wonder weapons. They've done copy paste with certain maps, and it's like,
Well, answer me this one. Answer me this question. How well did wall walking work?
it was
When you
great.
could literally walk on a wall. How did the futuristic part of it go?
Are we talking like as a whole for Call of Duty or for Black Ops or for zombies?
I'm talking about Call of Duty. How did
I
that? How? I don't know, and that's why I'm generally asking. But I can tell you
again,
this
it's
much:
the thing is
that
it
I
was
was a fan of Call of Duty up until they put all that futuristic shit in it.
well, and this is the kind of the cycle that COD kind of goes with is you have a COD come out, they say, oh, it is bad, it is trash, it is shit, it is nothing
Yep.
like the old Call of Duties, and then the new one comes out, and then like 3 or 4 games down the cycle, they go back to playing the old Call of Duty, and they're like, oh, this was fucking amazing. This was a really great COD. Why can't we go back to this? And
So
that's
let me
like,
ask you this question. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I'm not trying to be a smartass.
no,
Let's get that out of the way first.
mhm.
Okay. I'm not bashing the game. Let's get that out of the way second. How many ways can you modify an M16?
There's technically, if you want to be like technical,
For firepower, and for
in the game or in
putting
real
rounds
life,
downrange.
because it does
Let's-
matter. In the game, there's a limit, but in real life, there's like, I'd say a few hundred different combinations,
Okay.
if not more.
But but you've got the M16 that's in COD, correct?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the variation of the M16, both in real life and on COD?
The variation on COD, I'm
Depends
not
on the
sure.
Call of Duty.
That
depends on the Call of
that
Duty.
would be that. No,
Because
it does not. That would be the M4. That is the modification for the M16, the newer version.
mhm.
What is COD based on?
Military, real world,
Military, real world shit, right?
It's a military
but-
arcade
but-
shooter.
But with a fictitious mission and stuff like that, correct?
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The older ones did a good. When I say the older ones, I mean like the early 2000s, like
Yeah,
COD, first
they-
COD, 2,
they-
3.
They
Set
take
over.
historical missions like Pearl Harbor and battles in World War II, Somalia back in '92, That stuff. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
You're right.
It's
Okay. So when all
historical
these
fiction.
players
Yeah, that's what
when
it is.
all these players start bitching about copy paste, the maps I completely understand and I get it and I agree with you. A lot of these maps are copy and paste, but when it comes to the weapons, they have to copy paste because they get into trouble when they start making futuristic shit. They start losing players.
But that's the thing. I'm not talking about copy paste when it comes to like the guns and stuff. I'm talking copy paste like like right now. I guarantee you the next Call of Duty that's going to come out this year, because we already know there's going to be a Call of Duty that comes out at around
Well, we
Halloween
don't,
time
but
every year. But it's going to be the same movement. It's going to be the same
okay. Well, now
omni
we're
movement.
talking something different. Okay.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant
Okay.
by copy
I will
paste.
say this though. If you develop a mechanic that is well received and popular, why would you
Why
not
change
use it in the
No,
next
no,
one?
no, no. I'm talking about the omni movement is great, but I'm talking about like the copy paste from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. You can say
So,
that you can
again,
pretty much
it's-
say that was the same game.
It is because
If it
it's
ain't
considered
broke, why not
DLC.
fix it? Or why fix it?
It is a $70 DLC, and I genuinely do mean that because even on Steam it's listed as being DLC for
So
Call of Duty.
And it's like
let me ask another question. Let me ask another question before we go too deep into this.
Mhm.
Have the stories been acceptable in the games?
Not
No.
since Infinite Warfare
See, now that
back in 2016.
mhm.
that is the biggest problem.
Okay, hold on.
Right
20,
there.
2021's story was pretty good.
That was Vanguard. 2021 was Vanguard.
Or no, MW 2021.
2021. Oh, you mean
2022 was Vanguard.
22 is Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, 2019. I'm sorry, MW
Yeah.
2019.
So okay, you know what? I'll give you that. Yeah, 2019 was
Right.
good, but even then, there's a 2-year gap between or 2-year gap. I can't count between Infinite Warfare and 2019.
I guess my point is this: is I'm not so upset about the copy paste with the movements and the in-game stuff because if it isn't broken, why fix it?
I will also like to just add in real quick addendum. Black Ops 6 story is actually pretty decent. It's pretty enjoyable.
If the story is garbage, that's a problem. If the maps are cookie cutter from one game to the other game, that's a problem too.
And this is the biggest thing
But-
that happens.
But hold on, Fireball. But if you bring back a map for nostalgia reasons, and I cannot agree with you on some things. This is one of them. Nuketown being one of them. Nuketown is generally fun when it comes around because then that's your. Oh yeah, but you can't use what you used in that original game because everybody knows about it.
Well,
But
and
I
that's
generally like to see the upgrades into graphics on it.
I like the Nuketown is a staple of a map when it comes to the Black Ops series. It's been in every single Black Ops series moving
Since
forward. Since it was unveiled.
Also-
However, the thing that really annoys me is they try to come up with these new maps. Some of these new maps are good, like Derelict. The really bad one is Red Card. I hate Red Card. Or I think that's what it's called. The soccer stadium.
I like that one a lot.
Oh.
I love that one because it fits my play style.
Or
running
Verkuda.
around with a fucking knife and stabbing people in the butt.
Or Verkuda. That's another one I don't like.
I don't like Verkuda. Verkuda one sucks.
Okay, but they release these games and they're like, okay, and then they're like, oh, we're losing player base because people don't like these maps. Instead of trying to create a new map and create something that could bring back the player base, let's bring back a raid, or let's bring back a lot of like Modern Warfare 2009 Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops 2, a lot of those maps get redesigned and then pushed right into the game. And it's like, you're not slick.
Here's the thing I'll say. I would love for every game out there. I love the idea of live service as an idea. Like with Helldivers does live service real well. Space Marine 2 does live service real well. That is far and few between with game companies doing live service well. I would rather Call of Duty specifically go back to season passes. Go back to season passes. Fuck releasing these skins. You can release them if you want to. Give me the base game that has great maps, great weapons, good balance. We'll take whatever balance you give us at this point, honestly. Play it. Release the season pass. I guarantee you they will work hard on those maps because every single game, Call of Duty that's had a season pass, those DLC maps, I would say about 80% of them are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean like decent maps.
And it's like, the thing is they have, and this is what I loved about Call of Duty. And the last game to have this was what, Black Ops 3 for season pass, or was it Infinite Warfare?
I believe Infinite Warfare also had a season pass. Yeah.
But you had a season pass for $60, and then every 4 months
Was $40, not 60.
I thought it was $60.
I remember we talked about this last time.
Okay.
It was $40.
But anyways, you could do $40 for the season pass, or you could do $15 for every single DLC that came out, and you had a four DLC cycle. You had 3 or 4 maps for the multiplayer. You had 1 special mode map, and if they decided that they were going to add a few guns with it, like they did in Black Ops 3, even though they were behind the loot crates, it was still pretty apparent, and it was still pretty on point. I want them to go back to that, just because not only does it give them time to keep up with the base game, but they also have teams on the side that are working on the DLC instead of everybody kind of mushing through together to try to come up with stuff. I think the best era for Call of Duty was, I want to say, 2008 to 2015. And that's even stretching it.
Well, I'll say this for
I'll say 2000. I will COD 4 in that 2007 until fucking. I'll go all the way up to 2016.
I mean, I have a hard rule with games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy the game.
I'm gonna play the game.
And play the game, but I am not buying a DLC for that game. I am not buying season passes for that game. And you all should know from Fallout, I haven't played any of the DLCs for Fallout 4. Why? Because I was not going to pay for them. Plain and simple.
Why is that?
I don't.
Out of curiosity.
Why is what?
You don't buy DLCs.
No, I don't.
I said, I'm asking, why is that?
Because I've already bought the game. I shouldn't have to pay for anything else.
That's interesting you say that. So what is your take on expansions for MMOs? Like, wow. You already bought the base game.
You already paid your subscription.
Why would you pay for the expansions?
Because I get a lot more than just that region.
But essentially, it's just a bit more story and another map.
Well,
level cap increase.
Also on WoW, you pay $15 a month as well for the right to go on the game.
That's true. So you're never done paying for it, yeah.
And I'm guaranteed that it's not going to crash.
Not guaranteed, but I get your point.
Well, the entire time I was playing it, it never crashed. They would announce maintenance times, and they take it down once a week for maintenance.
No, there's one time, I remember there being one time it crashed, and you were so pissed because you were in the middle of a raid.
It did not crash. We didn't see the note for maintenance. And afterwards, when I was all pissed off and stomping around and throwing a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old, then Sweet Kitty Pie found the note saying, hey, we're bringing it down for emergency maintenance. And I had to be okay with it at that point. But for a video game for like on the console, no, I'm not paying for a DLC. I'm not paying $60 or $40 for a season pass. It's just not happening. Especially if I like something, like let's take WoW for instance. Since you brought it up, let's keep going with it. The reason why I keep buying the expansions for it is because if I want to go back and play something from WoW Vanilla the very first content that came out for it, all I got to simply do, get on a mount, fly back. I've got access to everything. When you do it for the console, when the next one comes out, you can't go backwards with the same. You got to actually change your game. You know what I'm saying? You got to close one down, open one up. They're not connected. Where World of Warcraft is, I can go from the front to the back to the front.
Well,
Guys, you got your
that's
phone on you?
Do I might? Yeah. Good Lord Almighty. Yeah, I know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because.
No. I'm more than good with it.
Okay. You go ahead and say what you got to say, but we do got to end up.
I was
wrapping it
gonna
up.
say
Yeah,
I
we
have
gotta
one
wrap
more
this
piece
up.
of news. We can go for another hour, guys. No, I'm joking. We're fucking
No, hell no. Godfather will be logging off because I got an early morning.
No.
All right, what's your news?
I was joking. It's
Oh,
a big piece of news. I'm joking.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Fireball,
Take us out.
get us out of here.
All right. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Let me see if there's any more comments real quick before I decide to. Crest Rider said. Crest Rider said, "I will pay $60. I will pay for a DLC if I feel that my cost versus return is being met. If I spend $60, I want 60 hours. If I pay $15 for DLC, I want to be able to get 15 hours out of it."
That
Again,
man, $1 an hour. He gets it. He fucking gets it.
$1 an hour. I do agree with that, and that's the only reason I will buy DLC. That's the only reason I got the Fallout DLC too, is because I got my money out of it. But with that being said, we're probably going to be streaming Thursday, doing more Minecraft streaming Thursday. I think I might take tomorrow off because I told Crest Rider I would play Ghost Recon with him, and this is his only week to actually be able to sit down and play. So I'm gonna probably do that. I might stream it. I don't know, but I don't really have much else in store. I might be in the studio for the weekend. However, if I am, it'll probably just be me and Chungus, right? Is that what it's just gonna be me and Chungus. So Crest Rider said, "I keep telling you, I'll take Gaza's spot for the time being."
Dude, yeah, absolutely.
everybody wants my
Actually, that's not. You know what? I like that idea. There's a couple people who've
We'll
actually
talk to him offline.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him offline.
All right.
All right.
But
is that it?
Yep. Take it to
right.
Gaz.
Yeah. All right. Long-winded.
Oh wow, Techie Boy's on it tonight. Anyways, hey, I did not get to Talking Tuesday today, and for that I apologize. And if you're one of my normal viewers for Talking Tuesday, you can blame the Department of Veterans Affairs. The bastards held me up way too long today, but that's a whole nother thing.
Literally held my gun and took the money out of his wallet.
Yeah, no shit. Anyways, there will be no Thirsty Thursday this week. Sorry, but I'm going to be getting trained up where I'm going to be at. I will not be on Saturday's podcast. I probably won't. I'll probably be bouncing in and out. It'll be a treat just to see me here. In my absence, Crest Rider has said that he will come on the show, and our executive producer is going to fill my seat for a little bit. So, just like in real TV, we're going to have a guest host taking over for me while I'm
just like SNL
playing Superman. So I don't have much else. So game on and game true, guys. Keep being you. Just game on. And I know that the Nomad gamers will be here when I get back. Chungus, take it.
Woo! Hi. I've been hard at work. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Just to be upfront and honest, I had about 60-something hours worth of footage to comb through. I've gotten through half of it. I have maybe 2 Arma videos worth of content, worth of footage to splice together. I'm gonna try to get it out on Friday. We'll keep I'll probably make a post about it actually on here. come Thursday, if it's going to be out or not. People might be looking forward to that. I've been trying really hard to do this. I'm not gonna lie. I stayed up way too late last night doing it.
Yes, you
That's
did.
all I have. That's all I have.
All right. With that being said, again, those who are watching on my socials, you guys really, really need to come follow on the Nomad Gamers on our Twitch. We don't. Do we have a Twitch up?
Twitch, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, we have a
Please,
Twitch somewhere. I just don't know where.
please go follow us there. Please. Those who are those on my private social.
On Facebook, we need that
Mhm.
other 18.
We need
We
that.
need
Once
we
we get
need
to
to get to
18,
100.
once we get to that 18, we can start streaming on Facebook as well. So please, please, please share us to your friends,
yeah.
share us to your family. Please let them know that we need those 18 more.
And we're going to be switching up how we look here in the very near future, aren't we,
It's
boys?
very, very near future, actually. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably by the
we're gonna
time
have
you get back, actually.
yeah, we're going to have a new streaming home as far as the StreamYard thing. You see it right up there, that duck. We might have a new streaming home. We're working very hard at that. And then who knows? We might. I won't be here to do it. It'll be Chungus and Fireball, but
Don't ruin a
we might.
surprise. Don't ruin the
We
surprise.
might. Hold
Keep
on.
it in your
Hey,
pants.
shut it,
Mute 'em.
you.
Mute 'em.
Shut it.
Take them offline.
No. Motherfucker, if you do. Anyways, we might have a very huge surprise for you. So stay tuned, share us, because we got some very exciting things coming up within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
All right. But with that being said, we got to get going. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.
Bye.
Hey, peace and love. God's Father is out the door.
He can't stop me this time. It's just me, Kaiser Chungus. Ah! What?
Can't wait for a dream, stuck in one city.